Okay, this is basically like you creating a game plan in order to become successful. If you go about your day-to-day life without a game plan, how do you expect to win the game? How do you expect to achieve the goal you want to achieve? What is going on, boys? Ryan Johnson here, and today we're going to be talking about how to enjoy the hard work in life. The truth is, you're going to have to do hard work either way, okay? You're watching this video because you want to become successful. You want to achieve something in your life. And so that means you're going to have to do hard work. But how do you enjoy doing that hard work? How do you remove resistance from those day-to-day tasks you got to do every single day? Well, in this video, we're going to go over it, and we're going to trick your brain into liking this hard work with a couple simple steps and a couple simple mental frameworks that we'll put in place in your life to just allow you to enjoy the hard work. And if you guys are new here, my name is Ryan Johnson. I'm a bodybuilder who likes to talk about self-improvement, mindset stuff online, and every single day is just hard work for me, but I absolutely love every single day. I love the hard work. I love the struggle. And it's because I simply implemented things I'm going to be talking about in this video. I'm not pulling shit out of my ass here. These are real things that I've implemented and real things that have worked for me, and most likely they will work for you. So with that being said, boys, let's get right into the video. How I trick my brain to like doing hard things. A guide to dopamine detox and enjoying the difficult task required to become successful. Why is it important to enjoy the hard work? Well, first off, hard work is the key to a successful life. I truly believe by going through hard shit, it's the key to not only achieving what you want externally, like in your external physical world, but also internally. It creates the man you truly desire to become. See, the man who does hard work but he doesn't like it, he may become successful, but he's miserable because he never enjoyed any part of his life. And so is he really successful? I don't think so. Now, the people who enjoy the hard work, they did the right things to trick their brain into actually like finding pleasure in the hard work, are the men that are truly successful because they went through the hardship, but they were happy throughout it. They were positive throughout it. They were grateful for it all. And so those are the men. We are the men who are going to become truly, truly successful. The truth is, the work we considered hard today is nowhere near hard. If you feel like going to the gym and dieting is hard, just imagine life 1,000 years ago. So think about how easy we have it today. We just go to the store to get our food. A lot of us work in like a retail store, online, at an office, some real easy shit. Even if you mow lawns, you just drive around like on a mower. Like, we don't really have anything hard that we actually have to do. And coming here to Thailand is what really gave me that perspective. You know, what was considered hard back home, here is considered the easy, luxurious life, okay? Some people out here have it insanely hard, and they barely get paid. They maybe even don't get paid at all, and they have to labor away 16 hours a day. So truthfully, a simple perspective change to realizing that the hard work you were doing is actually not even that hard will really take a lot of resistance away and struggle away from the hard work you got to do every single day. The hard work should be enjoyable. Even though hard work will make you tired, you will struggle and it will be difficult, the way you perceive and think about the hard work totally changes the way it feels. If you can laugh through the pain, smile through the struggle, and push through the difficulty, you will be successful in life no matter what. Seeing the light at the end of this dark tunnel is how you make it enjoyable. Again, like I mentioned earlier, a guy can become successful, but he can be miserable with his success because he didn't enjoy the hard work. He never enjoyed those 10, 20, 30 years of work he put in, so he just ends up being a very miserable person. The way he perceived hard work wasn't in a good way, and so it just created a bad mental framework around everything, and your thoughts literally create your reality. So the thoughts, you know, that miserable guy was thinking, and we can see this on older men. You ever go out in public and see these men that just have constant frowns? They never smile. They just have all this negativity and stuff like that. It's because of the way they perceive hard work. They don't enjoy it at all, and so they just end up becoming super miserable and negative. But once you can flip the switch and start laughing at the struggles you're going to go through the pain you're going to go through, and just smiling through the difficulty, is when you truly gain the most from the hard work you're going to have to do. Either way, it's inevitable that you're gonna have to go through it, but you don't have to not like it. You can like it. Like, yeah, pushing the weight in the gym, it's gonna hurt sometimes. You're gonna struggle, but if you can simply flip the switch and enjoy it through the frameworks I'm gonna be giving, you're gonna smile through it and you're gonna enjoy it more, and you're just gonna become a whole different person because of it. So really, the hard work should be enjoyable, okay? If it's not enjoyable, it's simply because your mental framework around it is fucked up. I know many people who literally struggle so much every single day with the work they have to do, but they're still smiling. They're still positive individuals, and it's simply just because of the way they perceive it. You will become addicted to hard work once it becomes enjoyable. If you follow the tips in this video, you will fall in love and become addicted to hard work. This will cause you to completely stop caring about the things that are keeping you comfortable and still in life, and addicted to doing the hard work that promotes your growth and development. So when I first started to have to do a lot of hard work in my life and remove all of the easy things, it wasn't really that enjoyable, and I wasn't addicted to it at all. It was something I had to force myself to do. But once I made a couple switches, and once I really stuck to it for like 6 months, 12 months, is when it became enjoyable. It's when I got addicted to it. It's when I would wake up out of bed, and I'm not joking to you, God, I used to literally jump out of bed because I was just so excited to get my day started. Why you currently don't enjoy the hard work. First off, too much cheap dopamine. Dopamine that is achieved cheaply ruins your ability to achieve dopamine that is expensive. So first off, what is dopamine? It's literally just your reward chemical. Like when you eat a piece of food, or when you accomplish a goal, your brain is going to reward you with dopamine. It's your reward chemical in your brain, right? And so cheap dopamine is dopamine that is earned without much energy expenditure. So it's like hitting a vape. It's like eating your meat to some video online. It's like eating junk food and stuff like that, right? You don't have to spend a lot of energy in order to gain this dopamine. Now, expensive dopamine is dopamine earned that actually costs a lot of energy, right? It costs a lot of time in order to gain it. That's going to the gym and getting that six-pack. That's dieting for 3 months and losing 30 pounds, or maybe gaining 30 pounds if you're bulking up. It's reading 30 minutes a night and then finishing a book 2 to 3 weeks later. It's things like this that you can't just earn in 30 seconds. It's things that take 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 weeks to achieve. Bad morning routine. Your morning routine sets your mind for the day. If your morning routine does not have a hard task and is filled with cheap dopamine, well, of course you don't feel like doing any hard work throughout the day. I truly believe that morning routine is the most important thing ever. Okay, every morning you wake up, that first hour of your day is the most crucial to set your mind right. You know, every morning you wake up with this blank slate. And so if you have a good morning routine, if you don't do the wrong things, you're setting yourself up for success at achieving expensive dopamine. And so simply to set yourself up for success at achieving expensive dopamine is by removing cheap dopamine from your morning routine. And so if your morning routine currently looks like you wake up, you roll over, you look at your phone, you scroll for a little, then you get up, maybe you eat some sugary donuts or some sugary cereal, maybe you hit the vape and stuff like that, then you instantly just like raised your dopamine levels so high that it's going to be hard to do the hard work throughout the day, because you got this massive dopamine spike right in the morning, where doing the hard work, it's not going to spike your dopamine that much, sadly, right? It's going to spike it to maybe a little bit above baseline, but these cheap dopamine things that you do right in the morning are going to spike it super, super high. And so really the first hour of your day, if you get it correct, it will be so much easier to enjoy the hard work. You haven't seen results yet. At first you won't enjoy the hard work because you're doing hard shit with no results. But if you stick to it long enough and you see the amazing results hard work gives you, you will start to enjoy the hard work more and more. So again, when I first started to do hard work, I didn't enjoy it at all. I spent 2.5 years of my life not seeing any results from my hard work. Like maybe my body looked a little bit better, but the things I truly wanted from my hard work, I never saw results for 2.5 years. But then 6 months ago, I started to see results, and bro, I have gotten so much more addicted to hard work because the results is really where the dopamine comes from. But think about it this way. If you're spending your time achieving cheap dopamine, this cheap dopamine only lasts 30 seconds. It lasts 30 minutes at most. But if you're spending your time achieving expensive dopamine, this is the dopamine that lasts a lot longer. For example, it took me 3 years of hard work to live out one of my dreams, and that was coming here to Thailand. And so now my dopamine levels are constantly so much higher because I wake up to a beautiful view. I'm in a place that I used to dream of being. I'm doing things I used to dream of doing, and that just spikes my dopamine a bunch. It raises my baseline. But if I kept using my time to achieve cheap dopamine, I would have never had the space to do the hard things, to work towards expensive dopamine and make it to a spot like this. And so basically you have to sacrifice some cheap dopamine right now for expensive dopamine, so that you can get things that will bring you long-term dopamine is the best way to think about it. And that's just kind of changing your external reality. One thing, it could be your body, like waking up and looking in the mirror and seeing the body you always wanted. That will give you a lot more dopamine. Maybe you're making the amount of money you wanted. Maybe you're working the job you wanted. Maybe you have the relationship you always wanted. Maybe you're living in your dream spot. These are the things that is like dopamine that will give you dopamine every single day. But you have to sacrifice the cheap dopamine in order to get this. But once you do get it, you'll love doing the hard work because you see the results. It's embodied in you. It's in your reality, right? It's here right now. So you see the results of all the hard work you've been doing. And so you don't really care about the cheap dopamine anymore. And even if you do a little bit of the cheap dopamine, maybe you go out and drink a little, smoke a little, whatever and stuff like that, it still doesn't affect you the same way that the expensive dopamine affects you. It's actually something really crazy. I'll go out sometimes here in Thailand, and honestly, my dopamine levels don't even raise as much as they do from like working all day and going to the gym and just like working on myself is the best way to put it. Why? I don't really know. It's just I get more dopamine from these types of things than I do from the cheap dopamine. I really enjoy dopamine that lasts, dopamine that constantly spikes up my baseline, right? Being in the place I always wanted to be in, making the money I always wanted to make, having the body I always wanted to have, right? These things that are pretty consistent and always here. Again, the cheap dopamine things, they last for like 30 minutes at max. Like a sugar high, 30 minutes at max. A vape buzz, 30 seconds at max. Smoking weed, 3 hours at max. Busting a nut, 3 seconds at max. Like literally think about that. Busting a nut, like that dopamine high lasts for literally 3 seconds. Now imagine this, imagine if you could sacrifice that cheap dopamine for 3 seconds and actually get yourself into like a real relationship with a beautiful woman. And that dopamine is just, it's constantly high every day. You wake up next to her every day, you have that dream relationship, and just every day your dopamine levels are so much higher and they're so much more consistent. So you don't have these ups and downs. You never really get super down and you never really get super high. You're just constantly more happy. You lack motivation. Motivation is just motive to take action. Gain a deeper understanding of what doing this hard work will bring you, and this will increase your motive to take action. So you might be saying to yourself, oh, this is all cool. These are things I want to do, but you actually need motivation to do this. You need motive to take action. So this is something we're going to go into later in the video. But in order to have more motivation to do this stuff, more motive to take these actions, you need to have a deeper understanding of why you're going to do this. Also, what will happen if you don't end up doing this. Now, I'm talking a lot about doing this, like what are we doing? So let's just jump into what you need to do to start enjoying the hard work. Step 1, dopamine detox. So step 1 to all of this is detoxifying your dopamine levels, okay? Currently, you probably are getting a lot of cheap dopamine from things that are just not benefiting your life. So you need to detoxify your dopamine levels from all of this bullshit and bring your baseline back down, okay? Because once your baseline is here, okay, the cheap dopamine spikes it all the way up to here, right? But then the hard work is right here. So the hard work raises your dopamine to right here. And if you're constantly doing the cheap dopamine things, well, you're never gonna enjoy or like or even do the hard things because it literally brings your dopamine down. You know, you're not getting rewarded at all for the hard work you're doing. So there's like, of course, there's no reason. Of course, you have zero motivation and you feel like shit when you do that. But if you can detoxify your dopamine levels, then doing the hard work will actually make you feel good. You will actually want to do it. You will actually like it. So here's a simple dopamine detox protocol that I put together just from my own dopamine detox journey. First off, no phone 30 minutes after waking up in the morning. Again, like I said earlier, your morning routine is everything. And I think the thing that gives us the most dopamine as teenagers and young adults is our phones. There's so much information. There's so much eye candy. There's just so many colors and all this blue light coming at us. If we look at that shit right in the morning, you can just imagine how high your dopamine levels are going to spike. So yeah, you're not going to want to do anything hard after that. Now, even if you feel like you're productive, even if you feel like you're motivated and you're somebody who goes on their phone in the morning, just try staying off it for 30 minutes, even an hour, because I promise you, it is so beneficial. Not even for your dopamine, but also like your mental health. Protocol step number 2 is morning journaling. So now that you're not on your phone in the morning, what do? You kind of need a habit to replace this other habit with. Again, habits just can't be destroyed. They need to be replaced. So if I tell you to get off your phone, well, we need to replace it with a good habit, a expensive dopamine habit, and that is going to be journaling. Now, I have a full video on how I journal in the morning. I'll put it right up here, but let me just give you a simple breakdown right now. Right when you wake up, in the first 10 to 15 minutes of your morning, sit down at your desk, open up a journal. You can get it from Walmart, you can get it on Amazon, grab a pen, and just literally write out like, today is going to be an amazing day. I'm grateful for this, that, and the third. Here is my goals. This is where I'm going in life. And just free write, you know, basically write your story for the day, write your story for your life, okay? This is basically like you creating a game plan in order to become successful. If you go about your day-to-day life without a game plan, how do you expect to win the game? How do you expect to achieve the goal you want to achieve? Maybe you'll do it, maybe you'll somehow get there, but the truth is, we only have so long to live, so we might as well go about every single day with intention. So journaling in the morning about what your plan is for the day is so important. Also, journaling is one of those things that will get you your dream life. It will help you achieve your goal. Again, it's a game plan. It's helping you become more intentional about every single action you take, which will basically get you into the intentional spot you want in life. And it's an expensive dopamine thing. When you do journaling, it takes 15 minutes to get a little bit of dopamine from it. It takes a couple of months of doing it to see some results and get a little bit more dopamine from it. Protocol step number 3, 2-hour screen limit. So just because you're gonna stay off your phone in the morning does not mean you're gonna stay off it all day, okay? When I was doing the 30 minutes to like an hour of staying off my phone, I was still on it 4 or 5, 6 hours a day sometimes. And so I realized 30 minutes doesn't even really do shit, okay? Yeah, maybe I start my morning off right, but then I just self-sabotage all day. So I need to set a screen limit on my phone. And I want to preface this with saying, I make money off my phone. I run my business on my phone. I do social media on my phone all day. And I don't hit my screen limit of 2 hours on my phone literally until I go to bed. Some days I don't even hit it at all. So if I can do it, you can 100% do it. I can promise you that TikTok is not teaching you anything new. It's not motivating you. You're not learning anything at all. You're already learning what you know. It's just reaffirming it every single time you see it and making you think about it in different ways. But is that really beneficial at the current moment? No. So really reduce your screen time on your phone, okay? This is a season you're gonna have to go into. It's kind of a season of no, of saying no to all the things you really like to do. Watch TikTok, watch YouTube, watch Instagram and stuff like that, and literally just produce, okay? Stop consuming so much and just produce. You already know what you need to do to become successful, to achieve your goals, to gain weight in the gym and stuff like that. It's just you're so distracted by your phone. You just now need to get out of consumerism and get into a producer state. Protocol step number 4, read 30 minutes a day. So again, you're gonna have way more time in your day because most likely your screen limit is anywhere from 6 to 8 hours a day. I'm just gonna take a wild guess because 90% of people are between 6 to 8 hours a day. And if you set it to 2 hours a day and you stick to it, like when the thing comes up and you're like, okay, no more phone for the rest of the day, you stick to that, you're gonna have so much more time throughout your day. So what do you do with it? Just spend at least 30 minutes every single night or whenever throughout your day. It's perfect for you to just read like a self-help book, to read a self-improvement book, to read a book from somebody who is successful. It can be about anything. Just read a book from somebody who is successful. Again, the reason you're going to do this is because it's expensive dopamine, okay? It takes 30 minutes to get a little bit of dopamine. It takes a couple weeks to finish that book and get a little bit more dopamine. It takes 6 months of consistently reading 30 minutes a day to really learn something that will really impact your life and really make a change to get you even a little bit more dopamine. Protocol step number 5, no cheap dopamine. And this means no nicotine, no drugs, no drinks, no junk food, no sugar in your coffee, and etc. Look, I'll be honest, this is going to be the very hard part to follow, and I understand this because this is the part I struggled with a lot. A big cheap dopamine thing for me was vaping. It's something that took me forever to quit, and it wasn't until like a tragic event happened in my life. My sister passed away. She was a big vapor, smoker, drinker, and she abused a lot of hardcore drugs, and it wasn't until that happened that I completely quit vaping because I saw like where doing this would bring me. It was kind of just like a gateway drug is the best way to think about it. But yeah, I just realized that like I can't fucking do this shit, if I'm addicted to getting dopamine this easy, just and I get such this big dopamine rush, then why would I ever want to go do the hard things? And also, why would I ever enjoy doing the hard things? Okay, it's one thing to do the hard things. It's another thing to actually be present in the moment and enjoying the hard thing you were doing. So really, you don't have to be as drastic as taking sugar out of your coffee, but if you notice it affects you, if you notice, just be truthful to yourself. What is the cheap dopamine things that you are allowing into your life that is affecting you to not want to accomplish the expensive dopamine things? And this doesn't have to be something you sacrifice forever, okay? Even if you can do it for the next 90 days, it will impact your life a lot. Because I'll be honest, it's not like I don't ever consume nicotine still. Sometimes I'll smoke a cigar. Sometimes I'll pop in one of those Zins. I will still intake some nicotine sometimes, being completely honest. But it doesn't affect me the same way as it used to. It used to be an addiction, okay? It's something that I couldn't get rid of. But now I enjoy the expensive dopamine thing so much that, dude, I could just drop it tomorrow if I got addicted to it again, because I understand what the expensive dopamine things give me. It actually gives me more dopamine than the cheap dopamine things. Protocol step number 6, 2 hours of exercise per day. So I've noticed when I cut out cheap dopamine things, especially stuff like vaping and smoking weed and eating junk food, I get really anxious. I need dopamine. I just need to do something, right? I have this addictive personality, and you may be like this too. And so I realized exercising more actually allows me to overcome this cheap dopamine thing, okay? And I like to break it up in 2 ways. I like to do a little bit of exercise in the morning and the bulk of my exercise later in the day. So I'll do a little bit of cardio in the morning. This is very healthy for you. A 20 to 30 minute walk. And then I'll do an hour and a half to 2 hours of weightlifting later on in the day. And so this allows me to get that expensive dopamine hit right in the morning and the expensive dopamine hit later in the day. And honestly, the dopamine high I get from exercising is so much more than, what it used to be when I would vape all day, when I would smoke all day, when I would eat junk food all day, right? And also the long-term dopamine hit. Every day I wake up and I look better, that just gives me so much more dopamine. So I would definitely increase the amount of time you were working out. I would add a workout in the morning, even if you're just doing push-ups before school or before work, just taking a quick walk or just doing something. Just try to get some dopamine from being active, from moving your body around, from doing exercise right in the morning and then some later on in the day. Again, it doesn't have to be an all-out workout, guys. It can be simple. People always say, oh, I don't have time to work out. Brother, it takes 30 seconds to do a fucking 30 push-ups. What the fuck are you talking about? Protocol step number 7, no corn, no prawn, whatever you want to call it. Think about it this way, a human's highest desire is to reproduce. It's what we're all here to do. It's literally what we do everything for, is to attract a significant other to reproduce. Literally, sex is everything. So it's your highest desire. And when you achieve your highest desire as a person, it's as simple as going online, typing in 7words.com and watching a video for 30 seconds. You can just understand how that would really, really mentally fuck you up. How you would get so much dopamine and then you would just fall asleep or be lethargic all day and not want to do really anything to go actually work towards achieving this real dopamine, this expensive dopamine, which is actually going out there and becoming something and actually having to attract a significant other. And I'll be honest, I'm not perfect with NoFap, okay? It's something I've been really good with in the past. I went 8 months before. I've gone 3, 4, 5. I've had these really good months and these really good sprees, and that's currently how I am. I'll go a month, I'll go 2 months, but I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying do it all year around. It's just be as best as you can with it, okay? That's simply it is all it is. If you find you're doing it too often, it's literally just to cope. It's because you can't achieve any real dopamine in life. Again, a lot of this is literally just a 90 to a 100 day protocol. It's not a for everything. Just try your best to stick to it for 90 to 100 days, and I guarantee you will trick your brain into liking hard work so much more. And protocol tip number 8, the last one, is no TV in bed. Now, no TV in bed doesn't really have any immediate effect on your life, but it increases your ability to say no to the easy dopamine, okay? Because when you lay in bed, you don't really have much going on. You're just going to sleep, right? So putting on TV, it's not really going to cause you any harm at all at achieving your goals is the best way to put it. Maybe you lose out on the sleep and you wake up groggy the next day. You can't really work as hard. But for me, and the reason I added this is because it would just increase my ability to remove cheap dopamine from my life, right? Ugh, there's a spider. What the fuck? And so when I would lay down at bed at night and I would want to watch TV, right, and I would have to force myself, because it was part of my protocol, to not watch TV, I would just lay there with this desire to get some dopamine, right? Because my dopamine levels were so low before I went to sleep. That's why I used to watch TV, to kind of raise them up while I fall asleep, because it just felt good and stuff like that. But because I kind of forced myself through this this dopamine detox, again, it's all about detoxing your dopamine right now. It just increased my ability throughout my next day, especially in my morning routine, to achieve more expensive dopamine. Again, this is just what worked for me. Maybe you'll try it and it'll work for you. Maybe you'll have something else. But with that being said, let's go on to the next part. Step 2, understand what leveling up feels like. So step 2 is actually a mindset part of it. It's not any actionable advice. It's literally just something I want you to listen to and really pay attention to my words. So the way I like to describe this is, let's just say you're at level 1, okay, and you're trying to get to level 2. You're trying to detox your dopamine and start liking to do the hard things you got to do in life and actually like enjoying them and resetting your dopamine levels, right? You're trying to level up to level 2, which is what I just described. And in between these levels is what I like to call gray space, okay? And inside this gray space, it's lonely. It's isolated. You're going to have thoughts of, why the fuck am I even doing this? Like, why not just turn back and stuff like that? But you really need to understand what this part feels like, so that when you feel these ways, you don't fall back down, you don't give up, you don't lose hope, you don't lose motivation, because it's very easy to fall back down to level 1. And then you gotta fully restart. Thinking about it this way, if you do this for 6 months and don't make it to the 7th month, which is maybe when you get to level 2, and you fall back down, right? You start doing all the cheap dopamine things again, you don't finish your protocol, you literally just wasted 1% of your life. Like, if you have 50 years left to live, let's say you're 20 years old, you have a time span of 70 years, which is probably like on the low side, but let's just do it for math. That is literally 1% of your life. Those 6 months you just wasted, because all you had to do was go 1 more month to truly level up to level 2. Basically, in order for you to be successful with this transformation, you should understand the road that lays ahead. And for you to better understand this, let me tell you a story. One night during all of this, when I was kind of going through this transformation myself, I was sitting in bed, or I was sitting in my room late at night, a while ago, back at home, in New York. And I was going through a really tough time, right? I was really lonely. I was very isolated. I have these thoughts of, why am I doing all this? Like, maybe I should just give up and go back to like my old way of life. Like, maybe I should just play some video games and stuff like that. And I just felt all these ways, and I went on Google to search up why I felt lonely. Like, the biggest thing I was feeling was just loneliness, like a hole inside of me. And the thing I found that really stuck out to me was, when you were leveling up in life, like when you're kind of transcending your soul, your spirit is the best way to think about it, your person, you're going to feel lonely. You're going to feel isolated because you're in this gray space, right? You know, you're going from level 1, which is where all your comfortable stuff was, where all your friends were, where your past life was, and you're going to level 2, which is kind of a new life with new friends, with new environments and stuff like that. So in between this gray space, it's gonna feel these types of ways, okay? And you're gonna want to turn back at times, but you can't, okay? Because you made it this far. If you give up now, you would just be wasting your finite time. You know, when you say you're gonna do something, you gotta stick to it, because if you don't, you literally just create distrust in your subconscious mind, you know, that self-sabotaging behavior. So I just truly want you to understand the road that lays ahead, what leveling up is going to feel like. It's gonna suck, but I don't want you to think about how it's gonna suck. I want you to think about what you're gonna get out of it, how your life will change. I truly want you to want this change so much. I truly want you to love the hard work you're doing. I truly want you to feel amazing every single day, even when you're working 12 hours and hitting the gym and doing all these hard things. I truly want you to really enjoy your day, because it's just so enjoyable. It's literally like, it's what truly makes like people happy, is the best way to put it. And again, you can be the hard man who does work his whole life, but if you don't trick your brain into liking the hard work, you're gonna end up like the miserable guys that you see that are 50 years old with these grumpy faces that never fucking smile, and that's just lame as fuck. Step 3, do the hard work until you see the results. So this one's going to be actionable advice, but it's also going to be like a mindset framework you need to implement in order to become successful with this. When you give yourself no option but to achieve dopamine from hard work's results is when this will all become enjoyable. Growing up, something my dad beat into me was, Ryan, you need to stick to things. And even though I would stick to things, if after like 3 years of sticking to it, I wanted to give up, he would still shun me. Like, it was never good enough. I just need to stick to things, right? So I played violin for 3 years, and eventually I just didn't like it anymore. I fell in love with it. I didn't think it was cool as I used to think about it, and I told him I wanted to quit, and he got angry at me. He was like, Ryan, you don't give up, okay? You're not a failure. You need to fucking stick to things. And I heard this over and over and over and over again. And now that I'm in my adult life, it's still there, and it really sticks with me. And so I've just realized I really need to stick with things if I want to become successful. You know, think about it. What if I actually did stick to violin even when I didn't want to keep doing it? Where would I be now? Maybe I'd be a famous violinist and stuff like that. It's just an alternate reality that could be true. And again, yeah, maybe I didn't like it the first 3 years, but what if the 4th year I started to really enjoy it? What if the 5th year it started to pay me money? What if the 6th year I became famous and stuff like that from it? Like, that's the way you really got to think about it. That's why it's very important to just stick to things, because the longer you do something, the better you get at it. And if you look at all billionaires, and I'm not saying we're trying to become billionaires here, but they have a lot of money, so they're people to look up to. If you look at all billionaires, they have been in their industry doing exactly what they do for 40 plus years, for like ever. There's of course a few exceptions, but most of them have been doing what they have been doing forever, for decades. So it's very, very, very important for you to stick to this hard work until you see the results. Because if you don't, and you end up just giving up, you never know where this hard work could take you. You never know where you could go with it. And so you go your whole life never achieving much, okay? Because most people, yeah, they achieve stuff, but they don't achieve anything amazing because they don't stick to it long enough where it becomes easy, where it becomes enjoyable. They just do it for long enough to see a little bit results, but then it just doesn't get easy, so they just give up on it. And so the mental framework I kind of want to give you about this part is, again, if you do something for 6 months and you don't really see any results from it, right? You're doing the hard work for 6 months, but you don't see results from it. And you decide to give up on it. You decide to like change the hard work you're doing. You decide to get into a different industry, have a different habit or whatever. But what if on that 7th month is when you saw the results from it, from when you became successful, from when you got that big opportunity? Now you just wasted 1% of your life and you never achieved what the hard work you were doing would have given you. So really realize that you're a foot away from gold, or whatever the quote is. You're like a foot away from gold, Imagine a miner, he's digging forever and ever and years and stuff like that, and he's like, I don't see any results from my hard work. I might as well give up and go mine somewhere else. But he's 1 foot away from that gold, from what he has been working for years, right? The big payoff is the best way to think about it. And so just keep that as a mental note in your mind. Whenever you feel like giving up, whenever you feel like, okay, maybe this hard work isn't gonna ever like work, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing, maybe I'm living life wrong. Just remind yourself, maybe I'm just 1 day away. Maybe I'm just 1 week away. Maybe I'm just 1 month away, because the truth is, that's probably all you are away, 1 month, to be honest. Bonus step, increase the motivation around hard work. So I want to leave you off with this, because I gave you a lot of actionable things that I've personally done to start liking the hard work, but how are you going to do all this? How are you going to have the motivation to do it all? Because I know a big thing like we all struggle with is motivation. So again, break down motivation. If you want to have something, if you want to obtain something, you need to understand what it is you are trying to obtain. And if you're trying to attain motivation, we got to understand what motivation is. Motivation is a motive to take an action. Put those two words together, motivation. So you need to have a strong motive to take these actions every single day and work through the hard work until you see the results and it becomes super enjoyable. So there's a couple ways to go about it. First, you need to build a positive side of motivation and also a negative side of motivation. The positive side is the life you were working toward. The good life is the best way to put it. So this is everything you really want from doing these things. And the negative motivation is what you were kind of running away from. I don't want to make it sound like that, but it's kind of like what is going to happen if you don't do these things? Where is your life going to end up? And the best way to kind of come up with this side of negative motivation is just think about it this way. If you got stuck with the habits you have right now in your life, like literally think about your day-to-day life, the common denominator, the mean of the habits you usually do every single day. Let's say you got stuck with them for the next 5 to 10 years. That might scare you, okay? If you're playing video games right now, if you're not improving yourself, if you're not doing the hard work right now, you're not going to be in a good spot. That's your negative motivation. That's your negative motivation to make the change and stick to doing this. And your positive motivation is simply just visualizing the life you want, the family you want. Like literally visualize your entire life. And it won't go exactly like that, but at least you have some idea towards what you're working towards. Don't just be a drifter and just drifting through life and just seeing what happens. Be intentional about where you are going with your life, okay? Because if you aren't intentional, you might end up in a spot you don't want to be in. You might end up as that miserable, grumpy man. So right now, after this video, just take 30 minutes just to sit with yourself, just to stare at the wall. Don't go jump to the next YouTube video or whatever. Okay, literally, if you want to get the most out of this video, take the next 30 minutes to sit with yourself and ask yourself, what is my positive motivation? What is the good life? And what is my negative motivation? Where will I end up if I don't make this change? If I don't go on dopamine detox, if I don't get to the point where I start really enjoying the hard work if I don't achieve my goals, like, where will I be? And it probably won't be a good spot. It will probably be a scary spot that you don't want to be in. And I can promise you, you can achieve that good life no matter what, bro. You can. It's just you have to trick your brain to enjoying doing these hard things, okay? Because it will make the process so much easier and just the process so much better. And you'll be way more likely to stick to it. So with that being said, my name is Ryan Johnson. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you drop it a like. And if you like me, make sure you drop my channel a subscribe. I'm trying to upload daily, all of the time. And with that being said, if you want to work with me one-on-one towards your fitness, lifestyle, and mindset goals, make sure you DM my Instagram, Life of RLJ, let's go, or just apply with the link in the description, whatever is easier for you. Other than that, I will catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.